Hi, I'm Ethan, a percussionist who recently graduated from Melbourne High School. Today, I will be teaching you about the basic stroke types and grips that are used for most conventional percussion instruments. This will pertain mostly to various drums, to mallet instruments, and timpani. Before I even talk about grips, I need to talk about the fulcrum. The fulcrum will be the point at which the stick will pivot when you're playing, making it the easiest to play with. There's a few different fulcrums, but these are the main two that come to mind, and then we'll address one later. Mostly the two-finger fulcrum, which is the pointer finger and the thumb, and pretty much works like that. And then the three-finger fulcrum, which you can include, which is a little more advanced sometimes, which you just add the middle finger in there and you balance it in between. And that, in addition to various muscles in your wrist, your arm, your forearm, that will be what creates the movement when you're playing. About the fulcrum, I can get into the grips. The first grip I want to talk about is German grip, where your fulcrum and your hands will be parallel to the playing surface, pretty much. You will just raise your wrist like this. There will be some finger movement. That's important as well, and I will get into that when I talk about my next grip. Now, this next grip I wanted to talk about is known as French grip, but it's mostly used for playing timpani, and we won't need this for that. We would use mallets for timpani, mostly. It's very unorthodox that you use sticks, but pretty much you take your German grip, put it like that. It's going to be different movement, and it's definitely using different muscle groups at different times, but it's the same basic ideas that I'm going to get to after I introduce all the grips. Finally, I introduce you the hybrid grip, which is known as the American grip, pretty much. That's going to be your general grip for anything like playing tom-toms, playing drum set, playing as a snare drum, for example. That's where you take your French grip. It's a little extreme. Your German grip, also extreme. You got a nice little happy medium. Going to be the same ideas that we're talking about. However, there's a new concept that's introduced with this American grip, and that's from Civil War drumming and field snares and marching drums and all of that, where your left hand, to account for a tilt, used to account for a tilt, your left hand would take on a different grip, actually. But that's a little more complicated, and I don't want to get into that. But technically, that's how there's 4 grips. Now that I've talked about grips, we can get into stroke types that make up the whole basis of playing drums, basically, or percussion drums, whatever you want to call it. There's going to be your rebound, aka the full stroke, your downstroke, your tap, and your upstroke. What do those all mean? I'll get into first stroke I'm going to talk about is your full stroke / rebound stroke. So you're going to start up, you're going to end up. Next stroke is the downstroke. You're going to start up, you're going to end down. Now after that comes the tap stroke. You're going to start down, you're going to end down. Then after that, the final stroke, you're going to start down, end up, the upstroke. These are the 4 basic strokes that make up any sort of literature you're playing, but there are a few more I would like to talk about. So, if you're playing any sort of percussion instrument, there's going to be different stickings you can use. And with these stickings come like little ornaments that you may have heard of in regular music, like trills or something like that. But you're going to have your rolls, you're going to have your different type of rolls, like the buzz roll, the double stroke roll, or even a triple stroke roll, but I don't want to demonstrate that. And then with that you have your double strokes, and then your buzz strokes, and then getting into a little bit of the rudiment side, which we don't need to talk about too much, you have your flam, which are going to have big, nice full stroke, and some small little tap stroke. But the thing here is, they're not going to be played at exactly the same time. Depends on how open you want it, what setting you're playing in, but I like my flams to sound like this. You can hear the left is hitting out a little bit before the right hand. Now with this, I have barely just scraped the surface at all. Like, I am still learning grips and all of that. But thank you for watching. Have a nice day.